Mike, it's kind of an obvious question, but just how do you sort of pull a team through a night like this where you have a lot of opportunities, you can't quite convert? It just kind of feels like every time the game's there for you to take, you just can't quite grab a hold of it with both hands. What's your message, I guess, after a game like this?
It's another tough loss. We executed, but we just didn't finish. I thought, after they missed the 1-and-1, we came back and got a good look. Mac got an offensive rebound, point-blank layup, and we don't get it. And then we get a wide-open three. Got exactly what we were looking for on the play. And that's a shot that he normally makes, and he just didn't make it.
Yeah, Mike, with Miles Rice, you guys moved him to the bench recently. Took a kind of a wild shot at the end there. But what has he not been able to kind of get in a groove for you or kind of find kind of the level that you want him to play at this season?
Well, again, the play wasn't – we didn't execute that particular play because that's not the play I drew up in timeout. So that was a botched play, but the ball ended up in his hands. And, you tell guys you're in the penalty, you got to take advantage of, your speed or whatever in terms of getting downhill, and he settled. But that didn't beat us. I look at the 5 points that we gave up within 2 possessions, an out-of-bounds play and then a point-blank straight drive where the guy got hit and he made the bucket. Those were 2 critical defensive stops that we couldn't come up with and still had a chance to win the game.
Yeah, Mike, when you mentioned just the lack of finish, it kind of seems like you all have lost a lot of close ones late. And when that late game execution isn't there for wide range of reasons, I want to say you guys started, I think, 4 seniors tonight. Is there a reason you can kind of point to for why you guys just haven't been able to really finish?
I wish I had the answer. I go back to the Northwestern game, the Maryland game, Purdue game, Michigan game. We all winnable games. And, if you win 1 or 2 of them, you're feeling good about yourself when you're in close games. And 9 out of 10 times you make the plays that you need to make. The fact that we've lost them, it's been guys are searching. I'm searching as the coach, in terms of trying to get them over the finish line. And, I'll never put it on the player. I take the responsibility. Even though I don't make the shots or miss the defensive assignments, it's still my job to get them over the hump.
Mike, speaking of the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game, was the shot selection where you wanted it to be? And also, how does UCLA's defense kind of influence shot selection? It's easy to say that, but how much do you kind of?
They are a good defensive team. They won the top defensive teams in the Big Ten, and they get after you. And with all of that being said, I still thought we made the plays from a defensive standpoint. We just played so poorly the first half and spotted them 10 points, and they had a lot to do with that. But I thought we played Indiana basketball the second half and made plays coming down the home stretch, made free throws. They missed, 2 front ends of a 1-and-1 that kept us right where we needed to be. Then we get a great look from Mac based on a good executed play underneath out of bounds, and he just didn't make it.
Mike, how do you feel like the zone defense held up tonight? And I know you got away from that later in the game, but is that something you're going to continue sticking with, or just kind of going back and forth?
Well, again, I thought, there were times it didn't help. We just didn't play it right, and they exposed us some early on, and we got away from it. I thought our rotations tonight were off based on how we played it at Michigan State. And then too, they had big time shooters around the horn. So you got to pick and choose when you're playing teams that can shoot the ball from the perimeter when you're zoning up.
Coach, do these types of late losses sting a little bit more than some of the others?
Any loss stings. Anytime you lose, it hurts. And, after coming off the Michigan State game, which was a great game for our young team, ball club, man, and then to come in and not finish tonight, it hurts, but we got a week to put this behind us and get ready for Purdue.
Last question.
Yeah, Coach, speaking of Purdue, you got a few days between now and then. What are key things you want to get in order going that game? And even though the record is where it is, Purdue, IU obviously is big anytime. What's the opportunity like to give these guys?
Well, again, we battled our butts off at West Lafayette. And they're sitting at the top of the Big Ten for a reason. And, we got a week to work and prepare and get ready for them because, they're playing well. And, we've had our ups and downs, but we just got a week to see where we are and get ready to toss it up next weekend.
Thanks, Coach.